There we are. All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. Let me just move this over to here. And it's a little better. I'm trying to get like the lighting. Got to make sure the lighting is right. Got to make sure they're getting my good side. How's everybody? Uh, all right. I hope everybody has had a wonderful weekend and beautiful day today. And yes, I did get out on the bike and go for a nice ride. Heather and I went for a nice ride. It felt awesome. So, really, really enjoyed that. I really needed that. Oh my God. It's, those of you that don't ride will never understand. Those of you that do ride completely understand. So, it was very nice and relaxing, and to be out there again and on the bike was awesome. So, all right. So let's, whew, all right. How ready are you and how long will you last, right? That is the question. Now, that's kind of a loaded question because of, and some of you may have heard. Well, before we get into all that, let's do the normal stuff first, right? This is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask everybody to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you can't abide by those simple, easy rules, those awesome people in blue with the blue wrenches will boot you out of here because we are not going to have it. All right. So let's just have an enjoyable chat, be kind to each other, and kind of go from there. So what do you got? 122 already, and only 40 thumbs up. What's going on, guys? Come on. Let's get those thumbs up rocking up there. Hello, Miss Hella. All right. So I want to talk about this again. How ready are you and how long will you last? And again, there is an old saying, and some of you will know when I say this, the best laid plans of mice and men. You can have the best well-intentioned plans, the best plans in the world, but if a nuclear bomb drops on your location, it's all moot, correct? You're not going to last very long. So you're hopeful. What? I am now busy. I'm busy. Don't rub on me. What? Freaking dog. So anyway, we do the best we can, prepare the best way that we can do, and hopefully if something happens, it happens on the West Coast first. No, I wouldn't wish, honestly, I wouldn't wish anything bad on anybody. The reality is that, most likely something happens. I would not be surprised if New York City wasn't involved. High density population areas would always be a target. And but again, we don't know. And when it does happen, we'll have to try to deal with it the best way that we can. But being as prepared as we can be, hopefully, and ready to do what we need to do, it puts us in a much, much better situation than the average bear. Let's just say that. And so I think that is important. But yeah, right on, Harley Davidson. Yep, love my. I'll tell you what, I love my bike, guys. Love, love, love my bike. And I was just sitting there, for whatever reason, I said it was a 2017. It's a 2015. It's been that many years already. I'm like, where did that go? And how often do you cook over a fire? Are you comfortable doing that daily? Super important skill to own. Oh yeah, I completely comfortable with that, Free Hawk. I have no problem with that. Cooked over a fire plenty of times. I've done a lot of camping in my life, and always cooking out over an open fire. Obviously ex-military as well, so it's not like you're, having great conditions, and usually those are MREs that you're eating in those situations. But yeah, it's we just, like I said, it's I'm ready to do what I need to do in that kind of a situation. Obviously, a new priority would be firewood. I mean, just something. So let's talk about that. As simple as something like firewood. The amount of firewood that you would need to have and dry tinder and all those type of things to have a fire uh, would be hugely, hugely important. And again, do you keep that? So here's the question, right? Uh, how much, how many matches do you have? How much, fire starting material do you have? Lighters? Do you have, again, matches? Stick matches. Do you have flint that you can use? I mean, all these things go into play. Or do you try to keep a fire going all the time? Now, you could keep, actually a great thing, believe it or not, is a smoker. Like with the bee smoker, having that smoldering and going, that could be a great way to keep a fire going. Yeah, I don't have a shortage of firewood on the property. No, and I am absolutely beyond my property. I'm surrounded by woods as well, so there would be. How many ways do you know how to start a fire? There's several. I know several different ways, Delbert. Like I said, I've been doing fires forever, so you know, you give, like I said, literally, you give me a coal no bigger than my pinky nail, or even smaller. I've done it off of even smaller, and I can get a fire going off of that. Just need that one hot coal. So, having something smoldering is a great way because you're not wasting a lot of wood that way. But yeah, there's all kinds of different ways. Obviously, I know how to do a bow drill and all that. No, no, I've never done that. Dryer lint, yes. Dryer lint is an awesome thing. You take used toilet paper, okay, tubes, and here's the key with that. Okay, you don't pack it full of dryer lint. You don't put the whole thing jam packed. You need the airflow. So you put some dryer lint inside of that tube of toilet paper, and that's a great fire starter. And that's going to be a great way to get your fire going as well. Yeah, actually, I went down in West Virginia. I have gone to the local laundromat and asked them for, it was for the lint. And so she gave me a bunch of lint, gave me a couple bags of it, smaller bags, like a sandwich bag size full. And I can go back there and I can get as much as I want. So that is definitely something. Do sun ovens work? Yes, Gloria, sun ovens absolutely work. And the thing is, you can make a sun oven, all right, using aluminum foil, believe it or not. So, you can absolutely do a sun oven using aluminum foil. So that is something that's going to absolutely work. Putting something in and having clear top and then you have the aluminum foil inside, and that can work as well. Hey, Philip, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome. Or should I say, good day. So, anyway, but again, you know, figuring out what's going to be to your best advantage in getting as ready as you can be. And then 90% of it, I'll be honest with you, in my strictly my opinion, 90% of it's going to be luck. 90% of it's going to be luck. So what do I mean by that? Well, I've been prepping forever and I got all this stuff and I'm ready to go. Okay, again, that's great. And then you get sick or you get hurt and you can get taken out that way very, very quickly. You can get an infection. You cut yourself on a rusty piece of barbed wire, for an example. Next thing you know, you have an infection, and if you don't have a way to stop that infection, your life expectancy is not going to be very long, and you could be prepped up to the wazoo, and in not having that preparedness level of having antibiotics and those type of things, that can be the end of the story. So those are things you got to think about as well. In a true SHTF event, what you're going to need to do, honestly, is to be extremely careful, extremely cautious, because there's no more trips to the ER, folks. Something simple that is not a big deal today could be life-threatening in a true SHTF event. So, how was your bike ride today? Carol, it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. It felt fantastic. And, of course, now I got the beard on, so this is blowing all over the place. I do have still Somebody had sent me runes before, because I'm anybody that, if you're newer to this channel and haven't been involved with this channel, okay, so here I'm gonna turn around and you'll kind of understand what I'm all about. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. It says ride until Valhalla. Okay, I like everything Viking. So somebody sent me some runes to put into my beard as my beard gets longer. I will do that again. And but yeah, ride until Valhalla. That's a good credo. I like it. Actually, one of my subscribers, sent me this shirt, which I absolutely love this shirt. And so, but I just anything Viking, it's very very cool. So, but anyway, um, get. But anyway, so I got the runes that I'll put those into my beard when I'm gonna ride, and I got the rubber bands. I got the rubber bands up here again, so I'll have to grab those again because I definitely don't want the beard all blowing up and into my face. So, but anyway, uh, whew. So like I said again, we can. Do you think you could do a C-section if needed? If it was life and death fortune cookie, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we would do the best we could. We would try to save the mother, you know. But again, you're talking about a very invasive procedure, and the mother might not make it through that. The mother might not make it through that, so that would be very tough. I've actually saw a C-section up close and personal when I was in nursing school. I was doing my OB rotation, and they were like, "Hey, we're doing a C-section. Who wants to see a C-section?" And I was like, "Me, please." So it was me and another girl. I'll tell you the story real quick. So me and another girl go in there, and they had like a box on the floor, right? Like taped off area, and they're like, "Okay, you guys stay in that box. You can see everything. You'll be able to see everything. The doctor will explain everything while he's doing it, right?" And so then they were like, what they said, now, if you feel sick or queasy, feel like you're going to faint, just leave the room. You just go right out the door and you just leave. And I'm thinking, yeah, I ain't going anywhere. So me and this girl are standing there, one of my other fellow nursing students, and a part way through this surgery, which I'm like riveted. I'm like this. I found it fascinating, really, really interesting. About halfway through, she's gone. She's out the door. She goes, and one of the nurses in the OR says, "One down, one to go." And I'm thinking to myself, "Sweetheart, I ain't going anywhere." Right? So I mean, I sat there, watched the whole thing. Now, here's something you might find interesting. That some of you may or may not know. So the doctor does the surgery. Baby boy comes out, 10-pound plus. That's why they were doing a C-section on the mother. And so then the doctor's showing me. So he goes, so here's the placenta. He goes, and see, this is normal. This looks good. Everything looks great on the placenta. And I said, well, what do you do with the placenta? He said, well, the placenta man comes and they take it and they use it in perfumes and all type of stuff. And so I'm looking at the doctor and I said, listen. I said, I know I'm just a nursing student. I said, you got to bust my chops. I said, really? What do you do with the placenta? He goes, no, really. He goes, there's a guy that comes, picks up the placenta, and they take it and they use it in perfumes and stuff like that. So that is true, 100% true. So those of you that did not know, when you are spraying on your lovely lady fancy perfume, it could have some placenta in there. So I would look at your label to see. So very interesting. So anyway, but yeah, it was, I found it fascinating. Could I do it? Yes, I could. I would most likely be able to save the child. I do not know if I could save the mother, though. So that was a great question. Thank you very much for that as well. Oh, yeah, they use whale throw up. Yeah, if a whale throws up, that's like big, big, big money if you get that. Yep. So anyway, like I said, again, things that now are not a big deal can be catastrophic in an SHTF event. Breech birth. right? Mother's not having a normal birth. If you don't have a midwife that knows how to do birthing, or somebody in the group that knows how to do birthing, because guess what? Here's a reality check for everybody. After an SHTF, people are still going to have sex. Are probably going to have sex more. There's probably not going to be birth control available unless you have prepared that way accordingly, which means people are going to get pregnant. There's going to be babies being born, which is a good and a bad thing at the same time, because now we're going to go back to the days of old where the reason that they had big families, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, um, the reason they had big families back in the day, because not most, but if you had 10 kids and 6 of them made it to full adulthood, you were doing pretty good, right? There always was going to be loss. You were going to lose children, sickness, disease, whatever the case may be. Those things are not going to go away. There's not going to be vaccinations in an SHTF event. So measles, mumps, rubella, all that type of stuff um, could potentially rear its ugly head in a post event and cause all kinds of problems. So something to think about. And I know a lot of people don't think about those things because it's not anything that we have to worry about right now. But in a true post event, that's going to be something that is definitely something you have to pay attention to. What are we at? 357 in the chat, guys. We're at 144 and a thumbs up. Again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you again ahead of time. Also, it really does make a big difference with the algorithms. And, also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time. So, anyway, here's something to think about, guys, okay? The more prepared that we are, it makes our chances better. It really does. Anything that you've done prepping wise in preparation for an event, food, medical supplies, freedom seeds, all those type of things, gardening, having the gardening tools and plenty of seeds and all that type of stuff. And, have been practicing and know what you're doing and picking up extra skills, you know what I mean? Learning new things. And, it's just, those are things that I find, like I said, to me, it's like, okay, yeah, we got to prepare for these different things. But again, a lot of it is going to come down to luck. So part of that luck is what, right? Location, location, location. Again, if I was prepping here in New York and Rochester got hit, I'm far enough away from Rochester that any fallout and stuff like that probably is not going to get us out here. But, if you are in a more isolated position, if you have, your bug out location is off the beaten path, it puts you at a definite advantage. Now, like this location here in New York, it's on a dead end street. So there is no through traffic. And I always like that about this location, that it's off a side road, off a side road, off a side road. So it's not a highly trafficked area. And so that was always nice. I like that part about being out here. You have neighbors right around here, yes, but they will, hopefully people would work together because it would be in their best interest to do so. That's not always necessarily going to be the case, but you hope that they would. Okay. Again, if you're in a city, and I'm going to be 100%, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've never not been honest. I don't BS you. I'm not going to tell you, oh, if you're in the city, your chances of survival are great. They're not. They're not. They're really, really not. Now, if you ride it out and you make it long term in the city, okay, are there a lot of resources that are going to be available to you there to be able to use? Yeah, there would be. Really, really would be. But it is surviving that initial year and being one of a small percentage of people that are left after a year. I'm going to tell you right now, after that first winter, there's two things. All right. The first summer, The first summer after a true SHTF event, if you live in Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, all right, you're going to see a huge drop in the population because people are not prepared to deal with that. They're not. They're not the extreme weather. They're not prepared to deal with. Now, in the Northeast, after that first winter, those that survived that first winter, you will see two things happen. You will see the people that are going to dig in, and they're going to be like, okay, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing, and I don't care, and we're going to make it work. And then you're going to see the other group of people that are in the north that are going to go, we're going south because it's too cold, we can't survive it, and in those type of things. So again, you're going to see a lot of people not making it because of their location, where they're at, and what they're doing. Now, is there a perfect location? It's probably not. You know, wherever you are, um, wherever you are, you have to make the decision of, okay, look at the big picture. Look at where you're at. Look at your location. If you're in suburbia, okay, if you're in suburbia, your chances are better in suburbia than if you lived in a city. But still not a great area to be in a true SHTF situation. Again, the farther out you are, the better off you're going to be. It's going to give you many, many advantages because if you, so here's a, oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Whoops. Tactical advantage, knowing your area. So if I'm out where I'm at in West Virginia, I know my area. I know my terrain. I know what is accessible. I know what is there, the obstacles that people are going to face trying to come in and do anything at our location. All right, so that I know. So I know that right off the bat. I'm like going, you know what? That's a huge advantage. Huge advantage. And so controlling the high ground is also a huge advantage because I don't have to go up anywhere. You have to come up to me. And if you're coming up to me with bad intentions, it's not going to end well generally for you. So those are things that you have to think about as well. Again, location is going to be key. Um, yep, Max said we have topical maps of our area. Yep. So, you know, and again, and knowing, see, here's the other thing to think about, okay? So here I am. I got my bug out location in West Virginia. If I know where the ponds are, where resources are, you know, that I could utilize later on, that's it's an advantage. Knowing, okay, there is this place here. I mean, realistically, in a true SHTF event, well, I mean, we'll be honest, right? There's going to be a lot of people going to die in their homes. Starvation, freeze to death, you name it, it's going to happen. There's a lot of resources in a house. A lot of resources, and not just going in and taking any food or, you know, pots and pans or any of that. Those are definitely things you're going to want and you're going to need. But you have wiring, you have copper that you can use, you have all kinds of things that you can utilize from a home, and you know, could you see someone trying to fight after running up that hill? Yeah. Not so much. Not so much. No. If you know what, you guys on video, and like I said, every time that I've talked about this, and people say, "Oh my God, you're so out of breath for going up that hill," right? And I would just say to anybody, "Come walk the hill with me, and we'll have a conversation the whole way up." You know, it is not a little bitty hill. You think it might look like it on video, but it is not. It's pretty steep. I walk it all the time. So, you know, and when I'm walking up this hill and then talking at the same time, it is more difficult. It really is. So, people, like I said, again, people can say whatever they want to say, and that's perfectly fine, and I'm okay with that. But, you know, come down there, walk it with me, and you'll get a whole new understanding. Any of my group members that have come in, have joined the team, you know, yeah, and I'm not 25 either. Thank you. You're right, Okie Forge. Yes. Yeah. So, but, you know, it's just, and again, that to me, hey, Asif, welcome back. It's a tactical advantage. owning the high ground is such a huge advantage. People have no idea. So I used to run 5 miles a day and never talked, or I would have been out of breath. Exactly, exactly. So, but again, I'm not 25 anymore. That I know. I know what my limitations are. I know what I can do and what I can't do, and that's okay. Yeah, the camera doesn't do it justice on the steepness of that hill. No, it does not. It does not. Um, but I'll tell you what, it's a good workout. I guarantee you that. It's a very, very. I'll be honest with you guys. When I went down there last April, right, and the first time I walked up that hill, I stopped halfway, and I was sucking wind hard, hard, because it's brutal. And that was not talking. That was with not talking. So, you know, but but yeah, it's just yeah, shoveling all that rock's a workout too. Yeah, I will tell you honestly, I am really happy that we are on the downhill slide with the driveway as far as what we have to do. But yeah, and my road into my place is about as steep as yours. Yeah, it is definitely it's definitely not a whole lot of fun. But again, I picked this location, very strategically. Literally in the summertime, guys, if you're on the main road, out on the main road, and you're driving by, you'll never see my place. You'll never even know it's back there. I mean, obviously the local people know where I'm at, right? But unless you know exactly where it's at, you'd never find it. Never find it. Now, obviously, wintertime is a different story. I'm very sorry to hear about your chicken today. Yeah, it was weird. So Becky had called me and it's like, what happened? And I had told her. So yesterday when I had gone out there, there was one chicken. It was one of the white chickens. She was up on the roost all the way to the left hand side, and she was just sitting there. And I was looking at her, and I'm like, man, she don't look good. Obviously you pay attention, right? And then this morning, when Heather took the dogs out and then went to let the chickens out, that's when she had said to me, "Yeah, Dad, one of the chickens is dead in there. You have to go get it." So I want to explain something else too. And Mark actually answered this question in the chat, but somebody said, "Well, why do you throw the chicken out in the garbage and not bury it?" Okay. Well, we have predators. There's always predators. And so, so there's the question. Yeah, why do you throw the chicken in the trash? The reason you throw the chicken in the garbage and not bury it is because the predators will come in, they will dig it up, and then they'll go, "Oh, awesome, chicken," and there's more chickens. So, you don't leave that out like that for them to do that. Now, if one of my cats dies or one of my dogs dies, absolutely, we bury them. A chicken we like our chickens. We love our chickens. Actually, they're a lot of fun, but they're a chicken. It's not, can they be like pets? Yes, they can be. Yeah, the police will dig it up and do an autopsy. Yeah, exactly. That's funny, Viking Prepper. I like that though. But anyway, you know, so that's why you do that with the chickens. You don't leave something for a predator to come in, get it, and do it like that. Now, obviously, um, and any wild animals there now will find it. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So that's why I toss them. They're chickens. It's not like I said. It's not like one of my cats or my dogs. And so when I have buried cats or dogs, what I do personally, is I dig it deep enough. I put them in. I bury them, and then I put rocks over everything. So that's what I do with my animals when they pass. Chickens are just chickens. They're a tool. That's what they are. Just like a pistol is a tool, a chicken is a tool. They serve a purpose. So, but anyway, uh, you could cremate them, keep their ashes in the urn. No, not for the chickens. No. There's Miss Heather.
I'm blocking her eyes because it's bright, but here's my girl.
She's a snotty, mean little cat.
She's a good girl who loves her mama, and only her mama.
Only her mama. That's correct. So I will show you guys this. Hold on. There's Mr. Max, and then Hella's in the background there.
Looks like she's coming forward.
Oh, she says, wait a minute, Heather's over here. I gotta have some attention. So hi, Heather.
Hello. Figured I'd bring in a little Stella sighting. I didn't think it would last long, but that's a Hella sighting.
And that's a Hella sighting. Hella says, let me get in the way. What are you doing? Are you jealous of Heather? Huh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
She says, I just want all of your attention myself, and I don't want her to have any. What are you looking at?
I see.
What are you looking at? Is that Heather?
I like him. It's my favorite.
This dog got her paw on my shoulder. Look, she's like, he's mine. That's what she's doing.
I had him first. Look at the look. She's like, I can't help that.
I know, baby. Okay, you have to go down. Hella's here for a visit.
Hella's here.
I mean, Heather. Well, Hella's here for a visit as well, but we're visiting with Heather right now. Okay? You get plenty of screen time. So anyway, too funny. So did you have a good weekend?
I did.
Yeah, it was nice being home. Well, second home now, because I got my first home is now down in West Virginia. But
right.
Nice to be back to the old homestead and visit. I will be seeing Eddie tomorrow. Ed, when you find this is right, it could get interesting. What?
She's confirming it's going to be very interesting.
Are you going to be jealous? Huh? She likes what?
Ready? Well, Hella doesn't want me to be a part of the stream.
No. Enough. Go on. Go.
Ouch.
Go out. Go on. Pandora, that means you too. That doesn't.
Good girl. Good girl.
All right. Hella sounds like Chewbacca. That's funny. She's very, very vocal. Hella is very, very vocal. She will let you know. But Hella doesn't like being locked up outside. Well, she was used to being locked up all the time here in New York. So it's not she may not like it. But, it's a little bit different in West Virginia because it's me and her. And we have the whole meadow. And I don't have to worry about, her, getting hit by a car or anything else. And, she can run around. And she's, like I said, she's never really out of my sight down there. So, but anyway, so, yes, we're going to go see your brother tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to see Eddie tomorrow. And, somebody's asking, how's your job going, Heather?
Job's going really good. I really like it. I'm very lucky to have a job that I love so much.
That's definitely a good thing. Yeah, you got to. If you don't like what you do, it makes for very long, long days. Mm-hmm. There's Hope saying hello to you. Yeah, Hella is fine. Just a change of routine. And when we go back, down to West Virginia, we'll get back into our routine in West Virginia. I think Hella needs a bath, though. That may be something that's going to happen while we're up here. She may get a washing. So, anybody have any questions for Heather before she runs away?
Well, Frank Short said, how are you doing, young lady? Doing good. I'm doing very good. Going through my own little change of routine right now with them home.
If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. That's for sure.
Oh, you love the shirt I have on? Thank you. It's for a band that I like. Would I own my own bar one day? I mean, maybe. It depends. Being a business owner is not as all fun as it seems.
That's a long, long days. That guy's there all the time.
I do drive now. I got my license. We're actually going to be looking for a car for myself.
Yeah, while I'm up here, we're going to be looking for a car for Heather. And so, Heather, do you still have a boyfriend?
I do. It's a different boyfriend, but I still do. I'm seeing a guy for a couple months now.
And I got to meet him this weekend.
Yep, he actually cooked for us today.
Yeah, he did. He cooked for us today. Get her a bike. Yeah, right? Yeah, she needs a bike. That is for sure. She likes to ride. And her boyfriend rides a motorcycle as well. So, Hope says, congratulations. Who taught you to drive?
My aunt taught me, thankfully.
Yeah.
She was taking me back and forth to work, so she was like, well, I might as well teach you while we're going back and forth. Do you like this guy better? I guess I'm with him, so what does that mean? What were you gonna point out?
He said, Heather, please start a channel.
I don't know about that. It would be boring. I don't do much when I'm not home, or when I am home. Did Dad approve of the boyfriend? That's your question.
Oh, All American Prepper. What's that? Oh yeah, no, I liked him. I did like him. I work as a bouncer and it can be dangerous. Be careful. There's a lot of creeps out there. Yeah.
Well, I've had issues with. I work during the day and I've had to kick people out at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon for being too drunk. So, thankfully, my bar is a local, smaller bar that has a restaurant attached. So, it tends to get more people that are coming in to eat with their families. You know, we serve food on my side as well. So.
Yeah, well, Becky had an alternative motive, just so you guys know. Yes, it was very nice of Becky to teach Heather how to drive, but her ulterior motive was get Heather her license. That way Heather can get a car, and I'm sure Heather obviously wants a car, yes.
Very badly.
Very badly. Freedom. And so, but it was awesome of Becky to teach Heather, and so that way she can get herself a car, and then she can come and visit Dad in West Virginia. What was that look?
I'm smiling. What kind of car do you want? One that'll take me to work and back? That I can afford? That's about my parameters.
What happened to the white car? That is long gone.
Yeah, we let it sit for too long.
Engine seized up, and that's not good. So we got rid of that. Yep. No, the white car that was there was too long. It sat there for way too long. So it is. That is a bye-bye. That is no longer with us. So we're going to be looking for something, hopefully that we can get on the road right away, get her squared away so that she has a car. How old is Stella now, Heather?
Well, like a year and a half or so? Maybe.
No, maybe longer than that.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2 years, yeah.
And I have not made a Harvey Wallbanger. I don't do any crazy drinks generally. Like, the most complicated thing I'll do is like a Long Island. But if you have instructions, I can make it. I'm very good at remembering recipes once I've made them.
Oh, don't worry, All American Prepper. Heather's protected. I won't say.
Bam! I got everything I need right here.
Get the guns. I won't say what she has, but she is protected, so don't worry about that. She can take care of her business. I've made sure that ever since she was in college. Because I don't know if you guys know this or not. Some of you may know, some may not. There are a lot of rapes in college campuses. And so we made sure that Heather was able to take care of her business when she was in college. And it's definitely a good thing, to be able to do that. Because, again, as I have said many, many times, I would rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. And I would rather have her do what she needed to do to protect herself. And if there's consequences with it, so be it, as long as she's alive. That's what I care about more than anything else. So, yeah, Bud Light probably not a big seller now. What have you seen?
Oh, well, we had a couple groups of people that would come in and get Bud Light. So, I mean, that's not really changed. People that are loyal to their drink are pretty loyal, but it's selling a little bit less than regular, I'd say.
I know plenty of people that were drinking, actually Budweiser itself, and have switched because it's, Anheuser-Busch made that decision. My thing is this, if you don't like something, then don't do it. Don't spend your money elsewhere.
Well, it's funny when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna switch to this," and it's like
margaritas.
And it's also owned by Anheuser-Busch, so it's like you're still supporting the company even if you drink something else. See, margaritas are my go-to drink, so I definitely know how to make margaritas.
Yeah, vote with your dollars, exactly. How you spend your money is, that's the best way to show somebody that you're dissatisfied. I know people that won't shop at Walmart at all because of everything that's going on. So, I went to Jack and Coke, Max said. That's funny. But
all right, I will let you guys get to it.
All right, honey. Well, thank you for stopping in and saying hello.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get back on top. We're at 483 in the chat. We're at 246 on those thumbs up. So again, please do a thumbs up if you have not already to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time. I do appreciate that. Also, Makes a huge difference with the algorithm. So the more interaction, the better. So I thank you for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time for that as well. Uh, Here in Florida, we don't go to Disney. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't spend the money. The last time I was at Disney, my mother took my sister and I think I was 14 and Becky was 13. I find it even way back then, many moons ago, way overpriced. Lines way too long. Not worth it. There's way better things to spend your money on. Things that you can do that are going to be more of an impression than something that's geared towards sucking every dime that you have out of your pocket and paying ridiculous amounts of money for things. I just like I said, I definitely better things to do. Um, you know, Too many fights in the parking lot. People are just, you know, I was talking to a server, a girl that waited on us last week, I think it was, and we were talking about how people are now and how people act. And I used to be a waiter, okay, way back in the day before I went to nursing school. I worked as a waiter part time. I worked full time as a CNA, and I was working part time as a waiter. Good money in it, real good money in it. But it was insanity. It was insane. People are, and let me get 85% of people decent, okay? 85%, I would say, are decent people. You know, I'm a people person. I can handle people. I know how to talk to people, engaging with them and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've never had a problem with that. You're going to get a small percentage of people that think that they're better than you because you're just a lowly waiter or waitress, and they think that they're better and they're going to treat you like a piece of garbage. I don't get that. I don't get that. I never could understand that, um, and I never will. I never will. I just don't understand that whole thing. You can go whale watching uh, free, just if you have a big boat. Yeah, right. But even if you go and pay for the day to go out whale watching, Hope, that's a nice way, a fun adventure. You're going to see more than just whales. You're going to see dolphins and everything else as well. So that's, you're out on the ocean. So yeah, there's other ways to spend your money that are more cost effective, that you're going to enjoy more, that you're not going to be stressed out. I don't want to be stressed out. I don't want to be someplace with so many people and people pushing and shoving and trying to get what they want, and just I don't, no thanks. you know. But anyway, we're almost time for egg count, so we'll hold off. I don't want to get into an in-depth discussion, and then next thing you know, we got to do egg count. But no, again, it's just you know how you spend your money is small adventures are always better in my book. Oh, I think so too. So I'm drinking water tonight because Becky drank all my green teas that I had up here. So I have no more green tea up here. I had one. That was the one from the other day that I had. So I'm going to have to stop and grab a couple of green teas while I'm here. So I'm with you. I don't do crowds anymore. It's not enjoyable. People are not nice. A lot of people are entitled now. A lot of people, have snotty little kids, and that's because the parents don't discipline them or don't, treat, don't, they don't know how to handle their kids. So they want to be their kid's friend. So, hey, there's Prep Rebel. So what happened, man? You're back on, which is great. What happened? I mean, how? Because I know like I said, it was not me or anybody that none of my moderators blocked you. So I have no idea what happened. And how'd you get back on? Was it YouTube or what? That's weird. That's weird. It depends on the crowd. I'm addicted to concerts. Concerts can be fun. Uh, I haven't been to a concert in a long, long time. Oh, it's his backup channel. Oh, okay. He's using his backup channel. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't know what is going on. That's your okay. Yep. Yeah, I have no idea, man. I have no idea what happened there. Yeah, I did just see Aerosmith. Oh, that's right. Yeah, duh. Okay, yeah, that was last year. That was actually fun. That was a good time. But you got to understand. Okay, yes. So I go to Aerosmith, and it was a big crowd, but it's an older crowd. It's an older crowd. Uh, it wasn't a bunch of kids. You know, and when I say kids, I'm talking 21 or 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 year olds that feel like they got something to prove or stuff like that. It was a more mature crowd that went to Aerosmith. A lot of people were a lot older, a lot older. So it's a difference. Like I'll give you an example of something. My ex wife and I, um, some of you guys may know who I'm talking about when I say this. Um, Ed, any advice for a new RN? I could give you a lot of advice actually. Uh, treat your CNAs with respect. Don't treat them like garbage. That would be the first thing that I would say. I know a lot of RNs treat the CNAs like they're garbage, and they're not. They're decent people. A lot of them are. The other advice that I would give to a new RN: uh, learn, learn from your LPNs and other RNs that have been around that that have the experience. Just because you're an RN doesn't mean automatically you know everything. So learn from the people that have been there that know what they're doing and listen. Do a lot more listening. You may feel like you're ready to tackle the world and you know everything. Realistically, you know squat. Book learning and being in school is one thing. Being out in the real world and the real deal, and now you're on a floor dealing with people, it's a whole different kettle of fish. So that would definitely, like I said, if you can if you can do it, if you want to specialize, that would be another question. What do you want to specialize in? I know a lot of, like, I remember when I went to nursing school, some of the people that I went to school with, all they wanted to do was go and work in a nurse's, or I mean a doctor's office. That was their goal. They didn't want to do patient care. They didn't want to have to deal with that. They wanted to work in a doctor's office and do that role. Again, it's going to be what you're comfortable with. You'll find your niche if you're a brand new RN. You'll find what you are passionate about, and just do it. And like I said, and the other advice I would truly give anybody that's brand new: treat people with respect and dignity. Treat the people that you're taking care of like they were your own mother or your own father. Treat them like that. That would be my advice. Okay, we are going to do egg count time now, and stop making guesses. Mac. All right. So, how many eggs today? Yes or no for Miss Thickneck? Starting now. So, I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses up there. And we will go from there. Give me just a minute here, guys. Okay, if you had the same exact guess as snark in substance, if I said that wrong, I apologize. Um, with 9 eggs today and no for Miss Thickneck. She did lay the last 2 days in a row, but she did not lay today, and so that is that is the case. So uh, Not a bad day. One of those eggs was actually a pullet egg as well, which was kind of interesting. One of those nine. So not a bad day. Not a bad day egg wise. Yesterday was a really rainy day. Today was really sunny. It was a really nice day, and so they had a good day. So most likely tomorrow would be a yes for Miss Thickneck. Well, now it's down to 13 hens, Mar, or no, 14. It was at 15 hens. Now it's down to 14. And again, some of my girls are older, so some of them are not laying anymore anyway. So, but yeah, so that is the case with that. Dawn says, yeah, but they lay every 26 hours. Dawn, are you listening, Dawn? Up in the UP of Michigan, are you listening to me? Thick neck lays 2 days in a row, generally speaking, when she's laying, and then she has one day where she does not lay. So she's not laying every 26 hours. She'll lay 2 days in a row, and then she does not lay. That is generally her pattern. So I'm giving you a hard time, but when you say, "Well, no, chickens do this," well, this one does not. This She has her own schedule. Okay, thick neck does what thick neck wants to do. I'm just giving you a hard time, but yeah. Oh my God, that's too funny. Uh, no, what I'm saying is you don't always have the same count every day. No, you're fine. I'm just picking on you, Dawn. I love you. Just giving you a hard time. Just having fun. But yeah, but you don't know day to day. Some days, and again, when the chickens are younger, they're more consistent, and when they get older, they're not as consistent. So, and I got some of my girls are pretty old. The one that just died, I think she was about 5, because she was one of my original hens that I got, because I got the white ones when I first got chickens. So, if anybody could tell me exactly how long ago that was, uh, probably 5 years. But you just don't know. I mean, she could have gotten egg bound, could have been any number of things. But I noticed that she was not, you know, not looking really good yesterday, and I just kind of like glanced, and it's like, and she's not being very active. She was up in the roost and just kind of sitting there, and but yeah, so that's how that goes. All right, so what are we at? 423. We're at 306 on the thumbs up. Let's shoot for 350. So that's 44 more thumbs up. Let's see if we can hit 350 tonight. And if we get higher than that, great. But let's go for a moderate goal of 350 thumbs up. So again, if you haven't done so yet, I'm going to ask you to do that. I did go to Aerosmith. I forgot, but yes, but before Aerosmith, it had been a long time since I went to a concert. So uh, I used to go a lot when I was younger, and I was, oh God, what was I, 25, 26, something like that. And I had gone to another Metallica concert. And I love Metallica. Love Metallica. Yep, I love Metallica. I actually saw them when they were opening up for Ozzy, when they had just come out with their Master of Puppets album. That's how long I've been following Metallica. So, but anyway, so I used to go to concerts all the time, and and I had gone to that concert. I was in my mid 20s, and I realized I'm like, you know what? It's just that type of concert anymore was not really for me. That just not that I felt like I was too old. It was just like, But now I know what I was going to tell you earlier. I was going to talk to you about this one. So my ex wife and I went and saw Sarah Brightman. And some of you may know who Sarah Brightman is. She was in The Phantom of the Opera. She was actually married to Andrew Lloyd Webber at the time. And then, they got divorced, and beautiful, beautiful voice. And so I'm going to tell you the difference in concerts, right? So if I went to a Metallica concert, you go through, you come in, they're checking everything, they're checking everybody, making sure you're not bringing anything in that you shouldn't bring in, all that type of thing. So we go to see Sarah Brightman. And I remember being in the car, and I'm, oh, wait a minute, I got to take my knife out. I got to leave my knife in the car because I always carry a Swiss Army knife wherever I go. So I take the Swiss Army knife out. I leave there. I take my lighter out. I leave that in the car. So we go in. They never checked anybody at Sarah Brightman's concert. It was an older crowd. There was a lot of gay couples in the crowd. So it wasn't. It was and it was sitting. We were actually. Um, this was in Rochester, and they had extended out the stage, like had the stage, and then it extended out. But like all along there was floor sitting, and I bought the better tickets because I loved Sarah Brightman. I thought she was awesome. Okay, so we're literally sitting here, and the stage is like right there, and people weren't jumping up and rushing the stage. People just sat there. They enjoyed the concert, had a really good time with it, and so that's the difference. You know what I mean? It's a different thing, and it's like I have some friends like an orchestra pick, exactly, sort of. But I have some friends that they play in a band. If they're playing, I'll go out and listen to them. You know what I mean, as far as that goes. But yeah, I mean, I've been to a lot of like I said, and I to this day, I will tell you guys the very best concert that I've ever saw, bar none, was John Denver. My cousin Doug had a date. She backed out at the last minute. He calls me up and he said, "Listen, Ed, I got tickets for this concert. Do you want to go?" And I go, "Well, who is it?" And he goes, "It's John Denver." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I mean, I like John Denver, but I don't know if I want to go see him in concert." And he's like, "Come on, man, I don't want to go alone." So I'm like, "All right, I'll go with you." So we went. Awesome, awesome. Very fantastic showman. Sounded just like the records. There was no, and it was him. Now this I'll never forget. Now again, this is in Rochester. He was down on a stage in the middle of the floor, not up on the stage, a small revolving platform that turned very, very slowly, and he sat on the floor. It was right there. People all around him sitting in their seats, and there wasn't like security there, blocking people saying, "No, you can't come up here." It was nothing like that. And we were like in the first row, like where a crowd would be, like if you were at a stadium, whatever. And this little circle thing just went round and round and round, and he slowly, very slowly. It was just him, just his guitar. Unbelievable, just a fantastic, fantastic concert. And that always, and it was funny because I almost didn't go because I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I want to go see John Denver. Fantastic concert, but so you never know. Like Steve, my buddy Steve, he's been to a lot of concert, and he said worst concert for him that he ever saw was Foghat. He goes, they were terrible live. So you just don't know. I mean, so, but I saw John Denver in Lake Tahoe. Oh, that's cool. In the 80s. Yeah. He's been gone a long time now. Very, very long time. Have you ever seen Kim Mitchell? No. No. Oh, I saw the Romantics before they become big. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, like I said, it's like I've been like I said, going to Aerosmith was one of those bucket list things. They're not getting any younger. Steven Tyler's 72 years old, but they were awesome. They were awesome. My worst concert was Alice Cooper. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, you don't know. I mean, you don't know. Best concert I was ever at was Pink Floyd. Now that was one I never got to see Pink Floyd. Whenever they came, they never came to Rochester. They were always up in Toronto or something like that. They were never close, and so that's why I wanted to see Pink Floyd, but they were always too far away. So, but yeah, but I love Pink Floyd too. I think Pink Floyd is awesome. But anyway, we're like completely drifting off and going off in a completely different direction. I don't know how we got onto concerts, but um, you know, and of course now it's almost time to do shout outs, which again I don't have my list, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me on that. So, but we're just getting to know each other. Exactly. Exactly. And that's a. I'll tell you what. I have had. I can tell you guys this. I have had a very interesting and colorful life. That I can say for sure. I have been all over this country. I've been up through Canada, different places up there, down into Mexico, a couple different places down there. Never been overseas, never been to Europe, but to me, there's so much to be able to see here in the United States that to me is amazing. We have a absolutely beautiful, beautiful country. And what I have found in my travels of going to different places in the United States, for the most part, people are decent. They really are decent, and and that's kind of cool. I like down be down in West Virginia. What do I get? Oh, I hear your accent. Where are you from? you know, or they'll say to me, "Well, where are you from?" And then I name the town that I'm at. No, 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 no. Where are you from originally? you know, and I do that on purpose. Like, what do you mean? I don't have an accent. You have an accent. So, but anyway, all right, let's go ahead and do some shout outs. Make sure you guys are throwing them up there in the chat so I'm going to see them and remember. Like, we got Appalachia Homestead with Patera is one of ours. We have Angry Prepper, which is Jason. There is Icky Can up in Canada. You have uh, Alaska Prepper, which is Rudy up in Alaska. There is Russell Brand, the Economic Ninja. You have the Needy Homesteader is one of. You have Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra. There is Angry Prepper, that's Jason down in New York City. Bjorn Hansen. There is 80K Man. You have Doug and Stacy, another one very good. Pinball Preparedness, another one's very good. Marfugal News with Adam and Dax, absolutely. You have the Needy Homesteader. I like her as well. There is Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. Deep South Homestead, Monkey Works, Prep Rebel. You have Bizarrizza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. St. Bernard Acres with Joe. There is Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two different channels. Really good information on them. You have Mary Greeley News. You also have Ryan Hall Y'all with the weather. Really passionate about the weather. Really, really good guy. Definitely support him. Green Greg's, Alaska Granny. There is Bush Radical, Girl in the Woods, husband wife team. Really, really good as well. The Oppenheimer Ranch Project with Diamond. I already did Angry Prepper. Let's see. Survival Lily is another one. Yes. There is Bizarrizza Jizz. I think I did mention him with the Carrington Chronicles. A lot of, like I said, there's a lot of good channels out there. There's a lot of good information. I think that it's important that we keep an open mind. We support each other, and and do those type of things. But the Idaho Hillbilly, I actually like them. I do like them. I don't have them on my list. Mary Greeley News. You have Marfugal News with Adam and Dex. Yes, out on the West Coast. Real good channel there as well. Mary Greeley giving you all the information when it comes to Yellowstone and the earthquakes and stuff like that. That's a really good thing. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I can think of anybody else that I'm missing. Uh, Little House Off Gritty. They are a nice young couple in Tennessee. There is Magic Prepper in North Dakota. Yep. You got New York Prepper. There's Bear Independent. So yeah, a lot of good information, a lot of good channels out there, guys. Uh, like I said again, I do believe that we should be supporting each other. I think it's important. We have to look at different perspectives, different backgrounds, and stuff like that. So that's all the shout outs I'm going to do because I don't remember anymore at the moment. So, but like I said again, a lot of good information out there. We should absolutely be supporting each other. I think that that is a good thing to do. So, Oh, we did hit 350 likes. Should we go for 400? I don't know if we got enough time. We got like 15 minutes to go. We could probably hit 400. 351. Look at that. Very nice. All right, let's see if we can hit 400. I won't ask for higher than that because I don't even know if we can come close to hitting 400, but it's a nice thought. So, again, if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I thank you ahead of time. It really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms as well. And again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so let's talk about a little bit more about this. You know, like I said again, the best laid plans of mice and men does not guarantee that you are going to make it in a true SHTF situation. Luck is going to play a huge factor. If we are on the East Coast, which that's where I'm at, I'm on the East Coast, and something happens on the West Coast, something horrific happens on the West Coast, right? That is going to affect us absolutely. Food production, everything else. You know, or if the through St. Louis and there, the New Madrid Fault, that happens. That's going to affect shipping, the truckers, all that type of stuff. That would be catastrophic. That's not going to affect us right away, but it's going to affect us eventually. So again, depending on where you are when something happens, is going to make a big, big difference in your chances of survival. Because something happens on the West Coast, and let's say it's catastrophic, it's going to affect everybody. It buys us a little bit of time here on the East Coast, right? Or if something happens on the East Coast, like say New York City, somebody detonates a dirty bomb in New York City. That is not a good thing, not a good thing at all. So that affects the East Coast big time, where that would give the West Coast more time to prepare. Will there be more? Will there, is this a one-off incident? Yellowstone going off? Absolutely, that would absolutely, that would be devastating out in that area. Would we be affected here on the East Coast? Yes. Would the world be affected? Yes. But it would take, you know, you would have about 6 weeks. If you're, let's say you're in Europe, you're one of the folks that watch this as a channel in Europe, and we have a major, major eruption with Yellowstone, right? And it's going to kill everything in a radius here. Where I am at, I am far enough away where we're probably going to get a dusting of ash. That would be about it. But when the sun starts to be blocked out, and about 6 weeks down the road, and there's no more sunshine, and not going to be any sunshine for a long period of time, that is bad. That is bad. So, those are things you got to think about. I'll give you an example of one of the states that I would not want to be in. Actually, I'll give you two examples of states I would not want to be in a true SHTF situation. And as beautiful as it is, and I would love to go and visit, Hawaii would be at the very top of the list because it's an island. It's an island, and unless they're having stuff shipped in there, which is very expensive, it's going to be tough. So you're going to see major, major problems on that island. Another place I would not want to be in a true SHTF situation would be Florida. I would not want to be in Florida. It is too freaking hot. If Floridians go from air conditioned cars to air conditioned houses to air conditioned jobs, for the most part. I mean, let's be realistic, right? Uh, Wintertime, Florida, great, fantastic. Summertime, it is ridiculously hot, too hot, and it's a bad situation to be in. Is there a perfect place to be? There is no perfect place to be, but some places are definitely better than others. Again, if you can control the high ground, having the high ground is very, very important. Uh, when I went to look for my homestead here in New York, I control the high ground here. Where I'm at in West Virginia, I'm even higher. And it's much more isolated than here. And that's, one of the reasons why a desolate island would not be perfect, Billy the Kid, because what are your resources on that island? If you don't have fresh water on that island, how are you getting water? What will grow on that island? how many, all those type of things have to be thought about. So I'm not saying it's not a bad place to be, but unless it's ideal conditions, might not be the best place you want to be. So, but like New York, everybody wants to rip on New York, right? But summertime, we hit 90 degrees here in New York, and we're like, oh my God, we're dying because it's 90 degrees with 100% humidity. It's brutal and it sucks. But you need to you know, look at where you're at. What are your priorities? What do you need to have? We need to have access to water, folks. That's hugely important. Got to have access to water. And, if you don't have water, it don't matter what you have, you're not going to be around long. All right. That's a fact. Being in a climate where you can grow, even if it's seasonally, we're going to be, again, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. In a true SHTF event, we are not going to be hunters because there's not going to be anything to hunt. We look at history, pay attention to history. The Great Depression, when the Great Depression happens, they hunted the woods almost to extinction. All right. It took 30 years for the population in the woods, for the animals to come back after the Great Depression was over. There wasn't food. So everybody was out hunting. All right. We have a whole lot more people in the United States now than we did during the Great Depression. There's not going to be anything to hunt. Nothing. There's not. Fishing and hunting is not going to be there because they're going to be hunted dry. What we're going to have is we're going to be gatherers and growers. And that is why I encourage people constantly get your gardens in, learn how to garden, get that figured out because it's important. It's that important. So, all right. What do we? 376. We need 24 thumbs up more to get to 400. So let's see if we can do that. So again, thank you ahead of time. Also, again, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. But let's see if we can hit that 400 mark. Not too far away. Not too far away. All right. We are Legion because we are many. We're all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Franklin County, Ohio, Melbourne, Australia. Philip is in the house. Pipestem, West Virginia with Troy. We have Fort Worth, Texas. Nebraska's in the house. Troutman, North Carolina with Tony. Northern Virginia. Inverness, Florida with Clyde. The UP of Michigan with Dawn. Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge. Nate in New Mexico. Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. Ontario, Canada. We have the Mojave Desert. Very nice. Charlotte County, Florida. Roll Tide, Alabama. Absolutely. Greenlee County, Arizona. Missouri and the Ozarks. Northwest Arkansas. We have Kansas is in the house. Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. Southern Oregon. Middle of Maine. Western New York with Sherry Ann. And Bay of Islands, Newfoundland, Canada with Mar. West Central Ohio with Dale. Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I still butcher that. Sean the Englishman in Chatham, Ontario, Canada. We have Auburn, New York. Trenton, Florida. St. Augustine, Florida with Diane. So once again, we are all over the place. Porticolo, Idaho. Leesburg, Florida with Joan. Campbell, Missouri with Antonio. Again, we're all over the country, folks. We're all over the world. We are a huge, huge network of people. If we could truly come together and work together, we would be a formidable force, to be honest with you. And I think it's important to try to, come out and work together as much as we possibly can. Harker Heights, Texas. We got Florida with Andrea. Yeah, North Shore Preparedness. Yeah. R.I.P. He was a good guy. He was a good guy. He used to be one of my moderators, too. He was a moderator on the channel as well. Very, very down-to-earth guy. Unfortunately, we are all on that same destination. We got Mud Creek, Ohio. Jesse S is telling you something. What's Jesse S saying? What am I missing? Throw it up there, Jesse S, so I can see what you had to say. What are we? 391. We need nine more. Nine more thumbs up, guys. Nine more thumbs up. I sent a message a few moments ago. Okay. All right. He was saying that your STD helped him. Ah, okay. I'm gonna tell you what. It sounds silly, but it works. It is amazing how well that works, and if you use that mantra, it is wild how well that it's and it's something simple. It's something that you won't forget. But STD helped me with some severe anxiety today. Thank you. Good. I'm glad it helped. That's awesome, man. I appreciate you sharing that, and I'm glad. You know, so that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that with us, and letting me know. But 398, two more guys. We need two more thumbs up. We're gonna get that. You guys are gonna blow it out of the water. I know you will. But we need two more thumbs up. So anyway, I do want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. I appreciate, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. What you do it means a lot to me. It really, really does. I want to have these chats be fun. I want people to be able to enjoy them, and not have silliness and idiots coming in and ruining it for everybody. So thank you for what you guys do. I want to thank all you guys for being here, supporting the channel, being a big part of it, and it makes it really means a lot. You're making a huge positive difference in the lives of many, Ed. Thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. I what I want to try to do, like I said, my mission for me, my personal mission is to make sure you guys are not victims, to be proactive, to help yourselves, to put yourselves in a situation to be able to weather the storm that's coming. And that is really important to me. Because then if you're more squared away, you're not going to come and try to take my stuff, and I'm not going to have to put you down. See, that's important. I'm being sarcastic when I say that, but at the same time, I'm being truthful. The better position that you put yourselves in, not only does it give you a better fighting chance when the time comes, it's going to help the people that you care about and that you love as well. And I think that that's hugely, hugely important. And we all need to be looking out for those people. And we blew through 400, which I knew you guys could do that. So very, very cool. 407. But yeah, so it's my number one thing is to encourage you, to show you, to lead, I guess, if you will, by example, by what we're doing in West Virginia, showing you that, yes, a bunch of strangers can come together, that a bunch of strangers that did not know each other can come together, work together, thrive, make something positive, and to do something positive that's going to really make a difference when the time comes. Because I just don't want to survive what's coming. I want to thrive on the other side. So the more prepared we are, the better we are set up, the better off we're going to be. And by us showing, as a group, showing you this is possible, this can be done. This is not a pipe dream. This is not a fantasy. This is reality that this can happen. Hopefully, it encourages you guys to try to go down that same path and to go on that same journey and put yourselves in situation. If you want to be a lone wolf, be a lone wolf. I don't like your chances if you think you're going to be a lone wolf, but you know what? You may do okay. I don't know, but you may not. And when something does happen, because eventually something will happen, okay? That's reality. Eventually something will happen. You need to have people there that got your back. And I think that that's really, really important. But again, surviving is great. Surviving is wonderful, but thriving is more important. Okay. And that's where I want to be. And that's what we're striving to do down in West Virginia as a group, is putting ourselves in a situation to not only survive, but to thrive on the other side. and also to be in a position to help others. So, to me, that's important. So, anyway, um, again, guys, remember, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. If we could ever figure that one out and stop this ridiculous fighting with other countries, within our own country, over race, religion, political affiliation, it's all stupid, nonsensical crap, and it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. Doesn't mean anything. So treat people with respect and dignity, and it's amazing what you get back when you do that. All right. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. There's only one person that's going to stop you from achieving your goals, and that's you. If you set realistic, obtainable goals, and then you set about to making them happen, they're going to happen. And only you are going to stop you. Don't listen to those negative people. We all know who they are. They're all out there telling you, you can't do this, you can't do that. You can do anything you set your mind to. Follow your heart, follow your dreams. I would always highly recommend it. I have sailed by my own ship my entire life, and I have had people tell me, never going to happen, not going to do it, never going to work. And you know what my saying is, right? My saying is very simple: watch me. And guess what? It gets done. It's amazing. I don't let those people tell me what I can't do. I show them what I can do. So, anyway, guys, have a great night. Everybody, please be safe. Keep prepping. And I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse One, out for now.